Alright guys, welcome back to Bad Luck Garage. Looks like we got some goodies in the mail today, so just going to show you what all we got. I know I said I was originally going to switch to the return style fuel system. We got our fuel rail and came with fuel injectors and everything from John. I decided to try to go a different route though. The main reason being, I really don't want to run the extra fuel line up to the engine bay. I know it probably would have actually been a little bit cheaper to do it that way, but I kind of decided I want to try to do something a little different. For various reasons, I've decided to just run an adjustable fuel pressure regulator. So anyway, we got our box from Summit here first, and what we got was we got I believe it was a 30 micron inline fuel filter, -6 fittings. Part number on that is SUM-230131. That's a 30 micron filter, like I said. I'd asked around about different fuel filters. I'm going to go ahead and open this. I'd asked around about different fuel filters that people were using when they were not using the Corvette style filter regulator like I currently have. And to be honest, I wasn't getting a whole lot of feedback. This does have a replaceable element. This end unscrews. And from what I was told, because it doesn't have a flow direction marked on it like most of these do, from what I was told, you want the end that unscrews, the serviceable end, that should be your outlet. So fuel in to the non-serviceable end, out of the serviceable end. And I'm looking down in there, and yeah, you can see it's like a mesh, looks like a mesh screen filter. I'm not going to take it apart. Actually, you know what? It's not very tight, so I'm kind of glad I just did that, because I believe I probably it needs to be a little tighter than that. But you can see the filter that's in it there. It's just one of these numbers. But that's the fuel filter we're going to run. It's got the cleanable element in it there, so we can reuse it or replace it if need be. But we'll snug that up a little better before we put it on. Also, we got two new strainers for our Walbro 450. The reason I had to buy these is because the one that was originally on it, I don't know what it is, but I've not been able to get one of these off without tearing it up. So that's why I went ahead and ordered two. They were just like $5 a piece. That way, if I have to take the pump back out again and I mess one up, I won't have to wait on another one to be ordered. Alright, so that's what we got from Summit. Now, I'm going to try something that's probably going to get a lot of harsh comments. I actually ordered an eBay adjustable fuel pressure regulator. And the reason I ordered this thing is because, it was $35. And I figured I'd give it a try. If it doesn't work or leaks all the crap or something like that, then with the other parts that I've got, at that point I can just run another fuel line and use the fuel rail that I got from John. But I'm hoping that this works out okay. So well, I was thinking about doing an unboxing video, but we'll just go ahead and pull it out, show you what all it came with here. It came with some really crappy braided stainless line, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's got pieces sticking out everywhere to poke you there. I wouldn't use this crap. I guess that's a mounting bracket. It come with a bunch of different AN fittings, most of which I'm not going to use. There's more AN fittings. Now, I guess this is an adapter to use it on certain fuel rails. We won't need that. More AN fittings, more AN fittings. Now, we probably will have to use the nipples that screw into it. I'm not sure. The -6 males. Alright, so we got all that. This is probably our fuel pressure gauge. Now this was kind of cool. At least I thought it was. It actually came with a, I don't know if you can see the bubble in it, but it's a liquid filled pressure gauge, which I thought that was pretty neat. I might actually swap them out. I've got a fuel pressure gauge mounted on my fuel rail. Uh-oh. There goes all that crappy braided stainless line. I might put this liquid, well, you know what? Actually, well, yeah, I still want a pressure gauge on my fuel rail. So, you know, I might actually put this liquid one on the fuel rail and put the one that's currently on my fuel rail on the regulator. So I'm assuming this is the regulator itself. Yep. There it is. Alright. There's our regulator. I mean, honestly, it looks like a knockoff of like an Aeromotive. That's what it reminds me of. I mean, it doesn't look like a bad piece. I guess we'll see how it works here in just a few minutes. Now it's got, you know, your vacuum / boost reference here that adjusts the fuel pressure according to vacuum or boost. But yeah, so it doesn't look like a bad piece, guys. We'll just have to, you know, looks can be deceiving though. We'll just have to see how it does. Now, my plan for this is, you know, most people would put these up on their firewall. My plan is to actually mount this under the bed of the truck, back where I currently have the Corvette filter regulator set up. We're going to run our inline filter before this. So we'll have our filter here, and then I wonder if there's an adapter in here, because ideally what I would like to do is, you know, if there's an adapter included here that has like a female, most of these that I'm seeing, let's see what we got. Yeah, most of these they're males. What we need is, we need an adapter like this that threads in. I guess this is what, 3/8 maybe, I don't know. But what I'm needing is an adapter that will thread into here. Ooh, that I don't like. Oh, yeah, I don't like that at all, guys. I don't know if you can see that. See how loose that fits in there? Does that snug up at all? Oh, that does not look good. I hope that's the fitting and not the and not fitting like that because of the regulator. Wow. Yeah, that's not good, guys. I don't like how loose that fits. Well, we're going to use a buttload of Teflon tape, that's for sure. This may not go well. Like I said, if this regulator doesn't work out, then what we'll end up doing is sending this bitch back to Hong Jing Yang or whoever the hell it come from, and getting our money back on that, and we'll just run our return style system. I'll get 10 feet of braided stainless and do that. But anyway, like I said, ideally what I'd like to do is have a fitting that screws into here and has a female 6N female, so I can then take my fuel filter and screw it directly in here. So it would be a fuel filter here like this. Then I can just, you know, screw my feed line onto the filter. I believe this coming out the bottom is going to be the return line. I'll have to check on that and see, because of course, you know, this Chinese stuff doesn't come with any instructions, but pretty sure the return line is usually the line that comes out the bottom. So, you know, we can have a 90 here or whatever to go back to the fuel tank for the return, and then, you know, screw our line that goes on up to the fuel rail out of this end. We won't need this, so we'll just cap this off. But well, anyway, let's get to it. I'm telling you guys, this thing's pretty sketchy. I mean, I've got a feeling when I hook this up, we're just going to have fuel pouring out everywhere, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I have, as you can see, I'm, wrapping these threads, super thick with Teflon. And I will say, once they're wrapped with Teflon, I mean, that took all the play out of it. I'm still kind of, not to, I don't even know what the word is. I'm terrified of this thing. But I did notice it came with some of these flat rubber washers. So I guess those are supposed to go on here. And then when you screw it in, if the Teflon doesn't seal it, hopefully this will. So anyway, on we go. All right, guys, we got our fuel pressure regulator installed and our new fuel filter, and we're going to check it for leaks right now, which I have a feeling is going to be a lot. So we'll key on and see what happens. Dumping fuel. I don't know if I wiped the filter off. If this filter's leaking, I'm gonna be mad because that's the only name brand part I bought. Watch the fuel filter be the only thing that leaks. Hey Ray, would you cycle my key on and off again? I just want to see what kind of fuel pressure it's building here. Yeah. Whoa, okay. That's definitely more than 58 PSI. Let me crank this down because I'm not sure which way I'm supposed to go with this. I'm not sure which way gives it more fuel pressure or less. Okay, cycle it off and on back. Whoa. Okay, try it again. Alright, we're getting a little better. Again. Okay, yeah, we're getting a lot closer. So you screw it out like counterclockwise to lower the fuel pressure, and when you screw it in, it raises the fuel pressure. That's how that works. At the moment, I don't. Okay, that's right at 60, so that's about where we need it. Of course, it's not running. The fuel pressure is going to change running. Go ahead and start it up, Ray. I feel like an idiot. I had the return line run into this jug here from where I was testing the other day, and so what happened was, while I was fiddling around trying to get my fuel pressure straight, we found out that this gauge doesn't really work accurately. So I was having to adjust and go to the front to check my fuel rail gauge, then come back and adjust, and it filled up this jug while I was in that process, and actually spewed like a gallon of gas onto the driveway here before I was able to shut the truck off. So my bad. I'm kind of worried that I'm going to be able to get my fuel pressure down all the way. What I'm doing now is I'm going to go ahead and hook my return line back up to the tank, and then we're going to start the truck again. And I'm guessing the fuel pressure is actually going to go up a little bit when I do this due to the restriction. So yeah, I'm going to hook that up and see if I can get it adjusted to where it needs to be, guys. Okay, we've actually had some good luck here at Bad Luck Garage for a change. Our cheap regulator seems to be doing its job. So I've got 58 psi constant now with the Walbro 450 fuel pump. We're running a deadhead system, or as you know, the LS community likes to call it, the returnless style. But it seems to be, you know, doing what it's supposed to do. We got no leaks. I'm actually about to, I've currently got the fuel pump down in the tank with no sock on it, no strainer, because I was waiting on the strainer to get here. So I'm going to pull that back out, put the strainer on, and button all this up, and hopefully we should have plenty of fuel pressure now, so I can take it out and do some high-speed tuning in Mexico, of course, but you know, try to get it where I can actually wind this thing out now. And in addition to that, we may have some nitrous videos coming now. So now all I have to do is get it mounted. This particular, sorry if I'm making you guys dizzy, this particular regulator, it came with two different brackets to mount it. It came with the bracket that was already attached to it if you could mount it to a flat surface. Obviously I can't do that, but it also came with this bracket. So what this is going to allow me to do is we're going to drill a hole right here in the frame where our old Corvette regulator used to be, and you know, we'll have this mounted right here. So it should be out of the way of everything. The return line is going to kind of be riding on the rear end. I'm not too happy about that. Actually it'll be up here, so it won't be as bad, but you know, got to do what you got to do. But that should still give me clearance to you know, do my bed and everything. Now what I may do in the future, when I've got more money, is I may shorten these lines and actually extend this line and move this filter over and mount it right next to my fuel tank. But I mean, I think I'll be okay for the time being here. So I'm going to drill a hole in the frame here to mount this bracket so we can get this bad boy mounted up on here and start working on something else. Alright guys, fuel pressure regulator's in, seems to be running good. Okay guys, got the fuel pressure regulator in. Seems to be running good. I took it down the road, let it warm up. I am having like a little bit of flutter. It's staying around 60 psi, but I noticed once it gets warmed up, I pop the hood and check the pressure gauge, and it seems to be fluttering a little bit between like 59 and 60. I mean, it's just like barely fluttering. I mean, I can only assume that's got something to do with the new fuel pressure regulator. It doesn't seem to be affecting the drivability at all. So, I mean, I think we're all good there. So, I just need to figure out a way to get this nitrous bottle mounted in the back, and you know, maybe doing some nitrous videos soon. I do want to say the gauge that came with the regulator is apparently junk, because I've got, you know, my good gauge on the fuel rail that I know is accurate, and it's showing, you know, 59 to 60 psi, and the gauge on the liquid filled gauge that came with the regulator is pretty random, guys. I mean, like,
the last time I checked it, it was showing like 45 psi at the regulator, but then I go to my fuel rail and you know, I'm showing 60, and I believe the fuel rail gauge. But anyway, if you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Heck, share it. Oh, sorry, I got screaming girls in the background. Neighborhood kids. But anyway, like I said, share this video if you like it. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you want to see more. Hopefully we can get this nitrous bottle mounted and do some you know, nitrous pull videos next. But anyway, see you next time on Bad Luck Garage.